Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Crazy. Technology.
Right.
Sick.
I'm telling you. And then if I get to this strip club, reality show with the positive side of it. Oh no, just no. I'm bringing
So this one just.
Oh, like where do we
ends
go?
up being this one on this side ends up going behind.
Oh, you didn't go.
I went on. Oh.
I got it.
Oh, I got you, girl. You don't move. You look good right there. Bam. There it is.
There it is, you guys.
This is gonna be exciting.
Yes.
I have no clue what we're going to do.
Go ahead.
I don't know. It say we live on here.
Yeah, everything's
So
live.
hopefully we're on Instagram,
We are live.
Facebook, and YouTube. Let's see. There we go.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to the Necessary Unnecessary podcast. I'm your host, Nip Swag. This is your co-host,
Frisco.
and we have a very special guest in the building. We have Miss
Monica Rael.
Ray L. So, today we're going to talk about hypergamy, hypogamy, equally yoked, and
Hypergamy. Yes.
Oh, so it's hypergamy.
Hypergamy.
Yes.
Hypergamy, hypogamy, and hypergamy.
So there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Okay, what's the difference?
Well, first, should we start with a little cheer?
We're gonna. Oh, it's host. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
let's start with the
All right,
toast.
y'all. Hold on. I'm not a big drinker. Okay. So, just work with me. Y'all know he have me on here sipping a little sippy sip. So we gonna
Asking for
just so I can look cool like you guys, so I can have the cool cup. You know what I mean? We're gonna do a toast
to the necessary.
and to
Cheers.
our wonderful host for making time out of her business.
Yeah.
Aw, cheers. Okay,
All right.
let's get into it. Okay.
Now, let's go.
Yes. Where do you want to begin?
Let's begin with the definitions of hypergamy.
Okay, so the definition of hypergamy is the practice of a woman moving up laterally. So that's either financially, educationally, and or in social status through dating, across or up. So it's basically the process of a woman sharing in a man's benefit through dating. My business is called Hypergamy, which is the process of a woman moving up through investing in herself. So all of the things that you would normally do to get a man to move you up or pull you up laterally, Hypergamy says do those things for yourself.
I love it.
Okay. And then what?
What do you mean in them?
After you
And
do
then-
good for yourself,
okay,
and then you be by yourself? Or
No.
what
So
do
a
you
part
do
of
after
it,
you
a
do
part of it is learning how to decenter men and romanticize your own life. So that's the portion of it that while you're pulling yourself up, you're actually romanticizing your own life, living your own life, learning how to advocate for your own needs, learning how to get in touch with the things that actually make you happy, living out loud, and pretty much breaking up with like the male gaze and male approval.
Okay.
I love it. I know all about that
So-
life, baby.
What would be the purpose and the goal of doing that?
So the purpose of decentering men.
Yes.
Okay, so the purpose of decentering men is, in its purest and rawest form, is to center your own needs first, and then learn how to advocate those needs.
To a man.
Really, to anyone, just to the patriarchy. Like, look, so yes, to a man, but also to anyone, because when you learn how to decenter men, because a lot of this is stemming from wanting male approval. But when you learn how to decenter a man and you learn actually how to communicate those needs that you have gotten, in touch with, it just spills out and you share in the benefit across the board, like across all of your, areas of life. Yeah. So it's not necessarily to a man, but yes, I mean, that's gonna be affected as well. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, because I think that we've gotten away from so much of this, the independent woman, we don't need a man. It seems like it's perpetuating that even more to me. I mean, but men need women and women need men at some point in time, however you do it. So I'm wondering, is the goal of it to make us closer together, to make you more suitable for a mate, or is it to separate more?
No, so the goal is to make you more suitable for yourself.
Okay.
And through being more suitable to yourself, you're gonna attract a mate. But like, that's a really huge misconception about decentering men.
Yeah.
Because like, I meet a man, I date, I have a very healthy dating life.
Okay.
But it's also healthy because I'm centered, and my attraction to men or their attraction to me is not rooted in what they need me to be. It's rooted in my purest, rawest, most authentic self. And that's how I show up, not how they need me to show up. So, you know, that's a huge misconception. It's not breaking up with the idea of wanting a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's breaking up with the idea that a man completes you. Because the man doesn't complete you.
It sounds like you're creating a bunch of unattainable sisters. Did you see Unattainable Sister on Undercover Brother 2?
not Undercover Brother Part 2.
Part 2. They had Unattainable Sister. She was just like, you wish you could.
Okay, so what I'm
that's
getting...
a hyper-independent woman, which is not at all what I'm
Okay,
saying.
so what's the difference between a hyper-independent? Because that's what people will take from that. Like, I don't need a man.
Yeah, well,
Don't do it for yourself.
Okay, so let me say this. This is what I'm getting. So I'm going to use myself as an example, okay? With my man, I told him what it was in the very beginning. This is who I am. This is me. Like, I am a tomboy. I have male friends. You know what I mean? Like, I love to go out and party with my friends. I need me time because I'm a free bird. You know what I mean? I smoke weed. He didn't smoke weed when I first met him. You know what I mean? He was not, I'm not going to say goody, but he didn't smoke weed.
So you were a bad influence.
No, I'm not a bad influence, but I'm being 100. I'm like, I let him know this is who I really am. I play video games. I like to cook, and I have a very high sex drive. You know what I mean? So he's not going to be shocked later on down the line and be like, oh, but this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
This is like, yeah. But so for me, I let him know I also have to be that woman who works. I can't be that woman who just sits at home and does nothing and lets you do everything, and then what if you die or you want to leave me for whatever reason or something happened, you break your leg and I don't have any type of income, I'm sitting here just depending on you, now I'm screwed. You know what I mean? That will never be me, could never be me. So I've always been that woman to be like, not independent, but we can definitely do the 50-50 thing or the 60-40, but I'm definitely going to have my money because I'm just that type of person. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to do something, I don't want to have to go to my man and be like, hey, babe, like, you know, no, I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
So I take it as what she's saying is like, you're independent, but you also know how to be in a relationship with a man. You know what I mean? Like, there are times where you're going to have to be more submissive. And there's going to be times you have to bite your tongue and be like, you know what, I'm just going to just hold it back.
That don't sound like what she's saying.
Well, I personally don't think you should bite your tongue. But let me interject. Let me jump in here. So, hyper-independence is a trauma response.
Okay.
Somewhere along the line, you have learned that if you don't get it done yourself, it won't get done.
Okay.
So that puts you in an overdrive. Anything that's too polarized is a trauma response, even if that means they say procrastination is a trauma response. I personally agree with that. I'm a procrastinator.
Being too submissive might be a trauma response.
It is a trauma response. So anything that is too polarized is a trauma response. Somewhere or somebody along the way has taught you that is your safest place. to be. So as it relates to hypergamy, it's not necessarily about being independent as it is knowing how to be interdependent. And so when you're interdependent, two people come together already dependent on their own and learn how to coexist together. So that's more so what hypergamy is. But in addition to that, it is about decentering male approval and tapping into how you genuinely feel or what you genuinely need.
I think the opposite sex seeks the other's approval in certain people, like people that they care about, people that they're interested in. Yes, you're going to seek some type of approval from them, or else how do you even know that they're interested in building something with you? It's not like, oh, I'm not gonna like myself or I'm gonna change myself if this person doesn't approve of me. But we do a lot of stuff to gain the approval of the opposite sex. Y'all do all this glitz and glam and you know what I mean? And we do all this flossing and working out and all, you know, we do stuff to gain the approval of the opposite sex.
But that's where we're going wrong, specifically women. So if that's not what you want to do and you're doing it for approval, we going wrong. I need you to tap back into what you really want to do. And I do think approval of your mate, or if you're dating someone, of course, on a very surface level, you want them to like who you are as a person, right? But if I have to change myself for you to like who I am as a person, that's a problem. And so a lot of times, and especially in modern dating, you are seeing women morph into different avatars of themselves depending upon who they're sitting in front of. Because you got one person telling you, we don't like weed. Then you got one person telling you, oh, you got to have a jet black bust down. Then somebody telling you, yeah, I love a full face of makeup. But then somebody saying your lashes too long. Then I can see your lace front. Like, oh, God, like, God damn, do y'all even like us?
That seems like, that's not an overall, like, that's overgeneralized to me. You know what I mean? So what may look good on one woman, I know women who wear weaves and they look magnificent. I know women who wear weaves and it look like a screen door. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you, if your weave look like a screen door, that you don't need to be wearing weaves. Now I might meet another woman, I can't even tell she got a weave.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. So I think it's more individualized. It's like
But
getting to the person.
What I'm gonna tell that woman is, if she want to look like a screen door, then go ahead. But that's what she wants.
I seen somebody not too long ago.
That's what she wants.
Her baby hairs was like 2 inches away from the front of her thing. It looked like she had.
See what I'm
now
saying?
you can't
Now
tell.
we can't even have our baby hairs. Five years ago, everybody wanted the girls with the baby
They
hairs.
need to be connected to the rest of your hair, though. They can't be out front and then your hair do it in the back.
Back then, it was different. It wasn't. The baby hairs wasn't reaching your eyebrows.
It was, but you realize, no, it's okay. But you realize the reason how we got there is because of the over glorification from men saying that was attractive.
But
you get what I'm saying?
Can I get this?
Now women take it and run with it.
Women be stunting on each other though. A lot of that stuff y'all do, it ain't for men. Because I wouldn't know the difference between this, that, or the third. But another woman, y'all be stunting on each other. So it ain't about just the approval of men. Yeah,
that's all they talk about.
And I have no idea the difference between, you know, this or that or that or this. But y'all do, and you be like, oh.
So let me ask you a question about this conversation I had earlier with this young lady.
Sure.
Beautiful girl.
Okay.
4 kids. 4 kids, all by the same guy, right? But they're not together anymore.
Okay.
But now she's dating another guy, and her whole thing is she would rather date someone with money and deal with his bullshit versus.
So that's what the hypergamy seems like, dating for a high value man.
And her whole thing was, and I was
that's
like,
hypergamy, yeah.
Hypergamy,
right?
Not the hypergamy.
I'm gonna let Chris go finish, then because this is very important too.
Yes.
So I was really confused. I said, wait, what? What did you just say? Like, you really? She was like, no. She's like, I would rather have a rich man and deal with all his bullshit than date someone who was broke. I said, well, okay, what's your definition of broke? You see what I'm saying? Like, let's start there. Be realistic. What's your She said, you can't pay any bills. I said, okay, well, I don't think you should date someone who can't pay bills, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His bills. Or all y'all bills.
No, well, no. Well, okay, no. When you first meet someone, I'm different from most people.
Yeah.
Okay? If you can't pay your bills, we can't date.
Right.
Like, realistically.
Okay.
And being realistic, living in the United States, a lot of people can't afford to pay other people's bills on top of their bills. So if we can come together and pay these bills, save money, and live without stressing and be happy,
that's equally yoked.
That's what I'm about. And that's how we run our house. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And
Working together.
We've been together 10 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, and it hasn't always been easy. You know what I mean? It hasn't always been perfect. But we learned to come together, and even when we first started dating, these are things we talked about. You know, like we literally had conversations like, okay, this is what I want in life, this is what I want to do, and how can we come together and make this work? So, but what would you say about the girl and how do you feel about those situations?
So one of the principles of hypergamy is an interesting dichotomy because I have they're not conflicting views, but for me, they run parallel. They may sound conflicting to other people, but for me, they run parallel. So one of the principles of hypergamy, anything a woman can provide for herself becomes her baseline, and she has the right to ask for it.
Required.
She does.
Yeah.
I need you to at least be able to pay your bills back.
Right. That part.
I need you to at least give me there.
Right.
And then I can teach you how to go higher.
Right.
But I need you to at least be able to be a self-sufficient adult. I do date. I am hypergamous in nature. Most women are hypergamous in nature. So most women either want a man who is on their level or higher. And there are a lot of benefits that we don't talk about with hypergamy because in Western society, it has been reduced to bags and shoes. The reality is there is a lot of invisible labor that women carry in a relationship. And that is where you benefit from being hypergamous in nature. It's so much more than shoes and bags, and I really wish that we could free the girls from that. That's a super deep conversation that I think requires a lot of unpacking, but for this particular scenario, I would tell her, if she and I were talking, because I do understand what she is trying to say.
Right, indeed.
But anywhere, any place, this is going to go financially, this is going to go beauty, this is going to go body, this is going to go intellectually. Any place that a man can exploit you is where you're about to be abused. That's where it is, period. So if you are lacking in that area, you got to get abused. Financial abuse is a real thing. Trust me, I've been there. I've been there. I know what it's like for you to have to ask and be scared to ask for money for groceries, but you may have $100,000 in your closet.
Right.
That's a thing.
Right. Oh, I know.
It's also a thing for a man to spoon feed you. It's also a thing for a man to move you off of your financially independent square to a dependent square. That's a thing. You about to get exploited. About to get abused. Even in your beauty. If that's the only thing that you literally bring to a scenario, right? If a man sees you and sees your beauty, and that's the sole reason he chooses you,
Right.
you're gonna have to be beautiful for the rest of your life.
Yep. Facts. Yep.
If you are intellectual, it even boggles down to like intellect, which is kind of crazy because I feel like I have been actually exploited in this way a couple of times too. But like, if that's the sole thing that a person sees in you, they're constantly trying to challenge that intellect.
Mm-hmm.
It's so you have to be able to recognize these patterns and pitfalls as a woman, decenter his importance in your life, because we're talking about his importance in your life,
Right.
and learn how to say, hey, either this is a boundary for me, hey, you know, things feel a little imbalanced in this area. You have to be able to recognize where this is. But if you need that man for anything, you got to get abused.
Yep.
Sounds exhausting. So
It is
exhausting.
My problem with it is
It's so
the
exhausting.
every man thing. You saying it like that's just the way it is. Every man is like
No,
that.
not
That's
every.
not what I'm
No,
saying.
that's
That's
not
what
what
it seemed like to me.
No.
Because you was like, a man gonna do this.
No,
if
it
you-
depends
you know
on
what
the
I mean?
man.
It depends on the woman's neediness, is
Okay.
what I'm saying.
That too.
Because if a woman is needy in a certain type of way, she is 100% of the time about to abandon herself in that relationship.
What if the man is needy?
It's called hypergamy.
Well, I'm a man. I don't have her hypergamy.
Yeah.
I got him hypergamy.
I cannot.
I mean, I don't have an answer for that one. But we specifically women.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're a man. But see, this don't apply to you.
It doesn't.
You're not that guy though. Like
It doesn't.
I know
Honest,
you're
it
not
doesn't
that
apply
guy.
to most men because
Yeah,
of the
you're not
power
that guy.
imbalance.
Yes.
So even if a man is needy, a man can, I'm not gonna say never, but it would be difficult for a man to be needy enough to still surpass a woman's neediness.
Because we are needy.
But like you said, sometimes trauma make a man be like super emotional.
Yeah,
needy,
that's
you know what I mean?
those are the ones that are crazy.
If you get the ones that, you know, and
That
sometimes,
too.
like, it's a lot of ways that men can be needy. They might not express it as much as women do, but there is a lot of ways that men
I
can
agree.
be needy too.
Yes.
I agree.
And then, you feel me?
100%.
1,000.
Speaking as a man, a lot of times we fulfill that void ourselves. So that would be my him part. You know what I mean? I feel that void myself. Well, mama, you ain't got the capacity and the bandwidth to, you feel me, fulfill what I need. So I'm gonna do it myself.
I agree.
But
you know
it
why
distances.
but you know why it'll never, it's still, we could run around 25 saying the same thing. It still would never ever equal the same because men by nature have a main character syndrome.
Mm.
You're gonna be the center and the nucleus of your story anyway.
Period.
Anyway, and I'm not saying I'm not saying it in a bad way because
Okay.
it's not even a bad thing. It's not even a bad thing.
Yeah.
I promise you, it's not. It's actually how you're supposed to be.
Okay.
That's why this world is so driven by misogyny and the patriarchy.
I mean, we was here first. Y'all kind of just came along.
Really?
Not we
Because we was long. Y'all just came along because we was long.
How did we get here? From your red? Isn't that what you
For
said?
sure. We gave y'all red by come on to the party.
Okay, we was saying outside the club.
But now y'all done ran off with the rib. We finna have a barbecue over here.
That's what it
You
was.
know.
So
We was supposed to be one. We were supposed to be one. And
I
I feel like it's so much that's dividing us because coming into this, I thought about, okay, I always wonder about successful women and how they say they can't find a man, you know, a good man. Or they'll find somebody on their level and, you know, that's not the man they want, you know, to treat her like, you know, whatever. But an athlete could walk into McDonald's and see a bad chick and be like, come on. And she'd go, but a successful businesswoman would never walk into McDonald's and be like, ooh, you flipping them fries. Fine.
You want
come
me
on.
to tell you something that's about to blow your mind?
Yes.
She can.
She can.
But you want to know what's gonna happen?
What?
She about to get abused just the same way.
She about to abuse
because,
him.
No, she's not. Because
Did you see
eventually,
the family that prays?
Please. eventually, what's gonna happen is once he, I don't even know the proper term, so I'm just gonna go there. Once he like gets her, or
yeah.
once
they start fucking,
if it's necessary,
he does that thing.
Once he fucks the bitch out of her, and he in his mind
flip the switch,
brings her down.
Yep. He gonna have her wrapped around her finger.
Because
she done lost
by nature, it's a man is going to assume main character syndrome.
He's gonna take charge.
I'm just telling you. And then also, what else is sick and twisted about this?
Say it, go on, girl. I'm right there with you.
What else is sick and twisted about this is as soon as, like I said, he gets her, he's gonna start dating from his ego.
Yep.
He's gonna forget that you date bitches who
like Bobby Brown on that movie where the lady flipped him. What movie was that?
About,
Two could play that game.
No, not that one.
Yeah, the Jerry curl
the
with the
most
messed
recent
up
one.
teeth and stuff.
No, what's the most recent? Oh my god! And the dude was younger than her, and he ended up taking her for all her money and paying his school bills.
I'm
and
telling you.
he had an invention that he was paying for. Remember? And then he was cheating on her. It was on Netflix.
Or something.
Yes.
Like that.
Just look at that.
Because as soon as you
easily.
It's very easy because as soon as he gets her, he starts dating from his ego, and then your chest poked out. You approach supermodels. Yeah, you approach the supermodels. You know, you got the IG baddies because you got what was she a CEO?
She was something like that. She was.
In our example, what you say she was? Whatever she was. Anyway.
She was a lawyer on Two Could Play That Game.
Yeah, on Two Could Play That Game. Yeah.
She was down bad business. Can I interject right quick and say something that's very necessary?
What?
We need happy endings, black people, men, women, all this stuff we talk about. Can it please lead to happy endings for 100%. Real? Because it all sounds like more and more division. And we just celebrated Juneteenth yesterday.
Tomorrow's my parents' anniversary.
We all happy anniversary to the Hickson.
40 plus years.
Definitely.
I need some happy endings moving forward. Black people, white people.
Can we start with you?
Men, women. Hell yeah, let's get it. I need me a happy ending.
We need to find somebody
and not no massage
with the bag.
Not no massage happy ending. I've been to China and I said, oh no.
He really did go to China, so he was by himself out there.
I looked at them women in that massage with them. I said, y'all ain't finna.
You don't want to catch a Chinese film? You don't want it?
None of the above. I said, nah. Y'all sit there. I'm not being there like Chris. I want some moose shoes. No, I'm gonna keep on walking.
Yes.
Make sure you follow her page too. Her page.
Yes.
I'm following your page.
Yes. Hypergamy, HERPERGAMY, or you can follow me at Monica Rael. So that's MONICARAELL.
So we're gonna do it a little differently today. Can you tell us the happy ending and unhappy ending of Hypergamy?
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I understand the question. So the happy ending, like,
how could it end well and how could it end horribly wrong?
Romantically?
Hypergamy.
My company? Or romantically?
Romantically. Like played out in life using it.
Okay, so,
you know what I mean?
So
what is the two extremes that could, what's the best case scenario and worst case scenario of hypergamy? Engulfing this idea of hypergamy, what's the best way it could play out and what's the worst way it could play out?
I'm going to be honest, there is no worst way it could play out. And the reason is, if you're going to end up by yourself, you better learn to love the person you with, and that's you.
So that would be the worst case scenario.
Yeah, to end up by yourself. But it's also not doomsday because
you love it on yourself, and you
which is the sole point. Do you know how many times
you bought 3 roses?
Women, well, you know how many times
and you're fine.
Women, well, no, like it's really true. Like we hear all the time, we're threatened with you're gonna end up single, or a lot of times men weaponize being single past a certain age, and it's not a real thing.
Right.
And I literally, so I just lost my. It's not a real thing.
Okay.
I just lost my
I know
mom.
a lot of old single women.
I do too. But it's not because they're not desired. It's because they're probably exhausted and have given up trying to make it.
Yes.
But I just lost my mom last year. And I thought that it's fine. It's fine. And I thought that I'm saying that to say so my parents had just celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. Do we not think that he may not find a companion who's also 60, 70?
Definitely.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, people find companions of all ages. Yes, it just depends on where a man needs his value.
Right.
If he finds value in a woman who loves to travel, he's gonna date a woman who loves to travel. Right. If he finds value in a woman who, is in her second half of life, who, he no longer needs a maternal figure for his children.
Right.
That's also what he's gonna do. If he finds value in somebody, in a 20-year-old, the adverse effect, that's also what he's gonna do. So that's not a thing. However, the worst case scenario would be, I guess, you could ride out by yourself, but that's not it's not a
It's not, because I have an aunt. She's in her 70s, right? Actually, she's almost 80.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her husband passed away. When he passed away, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't date anybody, but she traveled. She's been all over the world by herself.
Yeah.
She's retired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very happy. When you meet her, you're like, because she doesn't give you almost 80 because she's
so youthful.
Very much so. You know what I mean? And she's very, very happy.
It's a real thing.
So, and I think I might be that type. I think I might be like that. Because you're like, you get tired. Like, you don't want to have to keep dating and then getting to know people and then trust people and then I have kids.
And once again, the emotional labor, the invisible labor that goes on with carrying a relationship is like crazy.
Yep.
But the best case scenario, I apologize. The best case scenario is that you meet a man and he recognizes that you are actually whole and complete on your own.
Right.
And he loves the fact that you are individualized.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, form whatever your happy ever after is. You know what I mean? Because once again, at its root, it's still breaking away from whatever society's construct is. You get what I'm saying? Yep. So whatever your happy ever after is, you form and you guys flourish through that. But yeah.
Frisco, what's your necessary and unnecessary? The whole shindig and shebang. I don't even know we went all. We covered some stuff though. I learned some stuff. I love when I learn some stuff. I love when I learn some stuff. For sure.
I would just say the necessary is be yourself. From out the gate. Our first conversation.
Yes.
Be your 100% true self. And that will eliminate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I fool with you so much. Because ever since I know you, you've been just like you've been. No, for real. And I think I've been just like I've been ever since you know me.
Yeah. We've known each other a long time.
You can say a whole lot of stuff about me, but
he's not funny. Well, he's not funny acting with me.
Yeah, no, I'm funny acting with a lot of people, but if I'm always being funny acting with you, I'm gonna stay be funny acting with you. And you don't know why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm acting funny with you because look, I don't like this, I don't like that, this happened, that happened, and now this is like this, like that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna move forward. You can take it or leave it. But I'm not gonna.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
So I already said my necessary. My necessary is for all of us to have happy endings and create situations and scenarios and evolve into a being that is covering all 8 dimensions of your wellness.
Oh, I love it.
You know what I mean? Like to be fully whole, to be fully complete, and to be with someone who completes you. You complete.
That's so sweet.
My husband completes me. I'm gonna get
You
completed
feel
tonight.
me? And I'm so happy for you. I love that for you on everything.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna sign out. We're gonna have a part 2 to this.
Yes, I'm
And
so happy that
Monica, you gonna come back to it? Because I need to study up and put some of this stuff into play, and we need to check back.
You want some more questions?
Yeah, I got some more questions. I want some more answers, and I want to see how this plays out for you.
Oh, I'm in a very healthy.
Do you want to get married?
Dating life, but
I don't necessarily want children, but I do want to get married.
Okay. We'll see if that leads to that then. And we and we out, y'all.
Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I've got a tear. Thank you so much.